if I am looking at Bitcoin, I can start to see a clear reversal pattern is starting to form right now. And I want to be explaining this exact pattern on today's update video. I want to be talking about the falling wedge breakout we're currently seeing, the most important criteria for the next continuation back towards the upside. Of course, I want to talk about the Federal Reserve that are going to cut their interest rate and so much more on today's update video. So guys, once again, don't forget to watch this video till the end because I will give a big update on my current ongoing trades here. I will give you guys an update on what I think is happening to Ethereum because we exactly grabbed the lower side liquidity and now there's only liquidity laying on one direction. And yes, I want to be breaking it all down on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap all that like button back above 1,000 likes, will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in today's update video. So right now, if we're looking at Bitcoin, we are starting to see, of course, that first of all, we were creating lower lows in the market, but now we're starting to create a higher low in the market. What does this mean? It basically means that we're gathering strength in the market and that somewhat of a reversal is getting started right now. And like I said also in many videos before also, I want to see a break above the previous high, which is of course $113,000. And if this is going to be happening, so the break above this resistance level over here, it's also exactly corresponding with the previous lows in the market. But if we break above this high, I think we are going to confirm the breakout for the falling wedge pattern, which is going to be sending us all the way up to about $123,000. And whenever we break that level, we are literally confirming the reversal pattern on Bitcoin. And of course, that is going to give us a confirmation. We are going to be most certainly run all the way back up towards the previous highs again. And of course, I already announced in the private Telegram group here on the YouTube channel as well that I remain to be long on Bitcoin, and only in case this pattern is going to get invalidated, I want to be actually exiting my trades here. But for now on, I don't think this is going to be the case for Bitcoin because it is still looking very good. It is still looking very bullish. So I am still expecting this continuation is going to happen. And of course, whenever we're just going to be seeing the break above the previous high, that is of course your confirmation that we are most likely going to see that continuation higher. So right now, also, if I'm looking at the Fed funds rate, we of course do know that in exactly 10 days, we have the next FOMC meeting. And in this meeting, we're going to get the next rate cut here. And of course, the chances are right now ever so slightly increasing that we're going to get even maybe 50 basis point rate cuts. And historically, if we of course look at all the data, I mean, it is a very great time, of course, to be buying when, of course, there is a recession ongoing and the Fed fund rate, and whenever the rates drop very aggressively. And sometimes this can take some time here. And of course, we are right now in a major parabolica. And of course, at certain point, we're most likely going to come back down again here. But of course, if the Fed funds rate is going to be dropping even further, money is only going to be getting cheaper. And ultimately, that is going to be the reason why Bitcoin is going to be going to unprecedented highs here. Because Bitcoin is now sitting at $100,000. But guys, in like 10 years from now on, that is my personal prediction, and I'm all in on Bitcoin for the long term, I think it's just going to go to millions of dollars. And yeah, what we're doing right now here is just trying to trade it, of course, to make more Bitcoin so we can make more money while holding it, of course, in this next leg towards the upside over the coming decades. But currently, if I'm looking at the daily time frame, I can start to see that we're creating this major uptrend here on the daily time frame. Of course, I mentioned this also in many videos before as well, but basically this is going to be one of the most important critical levels that if we potentially break below it, then I will start to get a little bit more worried. But for now on, it's not really the case. Also, if we're looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we can just see that we're perfectly, once again, we're creating this hidden bullish divergence I also mentioned in many videos before. And if we're just going to be looking back at the last And if we're going to be looking back at the performance from the last 3 years here in the market, guys, every single year in Q4, the performance has been tremendous, extraordinary. And yes, Q4 is almost here, and I do think something similar is yet again going to be happening. So super excited for that here. Of course, if we're looking at Bitcoin also on the weekly time frame, we can start to see we are creating also this hidden bullish divergence, just like we're doing on the 3-day time frame. over the course of this weekend, we're creating a CME gap, this time around $110,000. Ultimately, we're still looking at this gap on the top side. I do think it's a matter of time before we're going to be filling it up. And yeah, whenever that's going to be happening, it's obviously going to be very great here. Of course, on the daily time frame, we're seeing a bullish crossover. And of course, yes, whenever the bull market peak indicators are going to be flashing, you will be the first one to know if you're subscribed to the channel. But for now on, 0 out of the 30 Bitcoin bull market indicators have been flashing. And most of them are like to 70, 80%. So are almost going to signal a Bitcoin bull market top here. But just like I've said in many videos before, and what I'm personally thinking with my trade here, I think there's going to be one final push to about $130,000 before ultimately we are going to see the big correction. And also, if we look at the previous times that we are seeing the Federal Reserve cut its interest rates, usually whenever the Federal Reserve is going to cut its interest rates, we tend to see a slight little spike here, and only after a big dump. Why? Is because historically, the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates because the economy is too weak. And of course, that is right now also the case. There are too many jobless claims. There are too many people unemployed. We're seeing, of course, GDP slowdown. And that is, of course, the reason why we are seeing right now the Fed funds rate go lower. Maybe on the imminent short term, we're going to get a relief in the stock market. But maybe also, what historically always has happened, we could also then see a bigger correction. So, of course, I will keep you guys up to date on what exactly is going to be happening. But anyways, I do still think we're going to get that final run towards the upside. And guys, if you right now want to be staying up to date, join the VIP group here. It's in the second link in today's video description. And also, if you are like me trading big positions, there's right now a very good offer because on WeX, you can get 25% fee rebate by signing up an account using that first link in today's video description. And also, you can get a deposit bonus up to $30,000. So if you're taking big trades like I am doing, because I'm in the $20 million trade here, of course, the fees are very important. And using this link in the video description, you will get a 25% fee rebate on already a cheap exchange, which is of course very nice for you, the trader out there. So make sure to check it out for sure in the link description of today's video. Then if I'm looking at Ethereum, we exactly grabbed the lower side liquidity, and now there's only liquidity laying on one place in the market, and that is of course about $3 to $4 billion worth of short liquidations laying around the $4,500 level. So yes, we are seeing a major amount of liquidity is piling up here, like all the way up to about $4,600. There's about $8 billion in liquidity. So guys, it's going to be absolutely crazy. I do once again think that history is going to be repeating and that liquidity will be yet again grabbed here. So yeah, I'm expecting a slight little push higher for Ethereum right now here. And of course, if I'm looking at Bitcoin, unfortunately, I can't really give you a clear direction since there is not clearly liquidity building up below us or above us, but it is building up on both sides. And also, I must admit, on Bitcoin, I don't really see a big liquidity wall here. So I am nothing. So for me to predict purely from the liquidity heat map where Bitcoin is going to go towards, it is very difficult at this moment of time here. So Ethereum compared to Bitcoin still looking very strong against the dollar valuation. We are in a major falling wedge pattern, which is about to be breaking out. And ultimately, we are in the part of the cycle. If you're going to be looking, of course, at the halving cycle profit, if you, of course, look at the timings of the cycle, we are right now in that end stage of the cycle where historically also the big gains on altcoins are realized. So it's a very bad timing to be fading the market. I've stated it many times before here. And for Bitcoin, I honestly do think it is starting to look quite good here with this inverse head and shoulders pattern getting created right here. So guys, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.